Welcome to the Lower Crooked Wild and Scenic River Chimney Rock segment. It's a real beautiful area of Central Oregon. You take Highway 27 south out of Prineville, and you're going up towards the Bowman Dam that creates the Prineville Reservoir, which in and of itself is a beautiful lake. The drive up here is just gorgeous. The salt cliffs, you're right along the river. About 11-12 miles up out of Prineville, you start getting into the scenic area where it's BLM and there's multiple campgrounds up there. BLM lists 10 campgrounds, though technically it's really 9 because Lower and Upper Palisades are on the same turnoff, but are 2 separate campgrounds. Our favorite campground up there on this section of river is the Palisades. You can get right down on the river, which you can do on several of the other campgrounds as well. This was designated a federal wild and scenic river in 1988, and it's located right along the Crooked River. This section is an 8-mile long section called the Chimney Rock segment. It's just gorgeous for its scenery and wildlife. Campgrounds are Castle Rock, Stillwater, Lone Pine, Palisades, Chimney Rock, Cobble Rock, Post Pile, Poison Butte, and Big Bend. Big Bend is the closest one to the Bowman Dam. The drive up from town is just a gorgeous drive. There's so much different things to look at, from sloped hillsides to rocky crags to buttes to the river to the basalt cliffs. I've actually had the pleasure of taking this route with a motorcycle many years ago, and it's a really enjoyable route. Most of these campgrounds up here do not have any amenities other than a picnic table and a fire ring. The main Chimney Rock campground does have water on scene. That campground was closed during the filming of this video. They've been doing some extensive renovations to that campground, and they were hoping to have it open by this time, but some delays came up in working on it, so it's not quite open yet. But Chimney Rock has a handicap fishing dock right on the river and a lot of amenities. I don't know what they're changing. I do know that it used to have a water spigot there for fresh water available to all the campers. As you can see, as the higher you get up into the canyon, the more dramatic the scenery gets. And once you get past, I think it's milepost 11 or 12, you get out of where there's private property, and this is all BLM, open to the public. We've enjoyed camping in this area. There is Chimney Rock, right across the street from the main campground is a trailhead. You can park in the trailhead and actually hike up to Chimney Rock. Never actually done that hike. It is one of the things I've wanted to do in the area. Just haven't got to it yet. Here we are in Palisades. The cliffs on the other side of the river are just so neat. There's just so much variation in the rock texture and colors. Just a wonderful place to be. Seeing God's creation like that is just wonderful. So there's an upper campground if you hang a left up here, but if you take a right and drop down the hill, you drop down by the river, and this is lower Palisades. And this is where we prefer to be because it puts you right on the river. There's several campgrounds right here on the river. We were up there with some friends, so we tried to find a couple right next to each other, and we were lucky to find a couple of really nice sites right on the river. Tried a little fishing, but wasn't successful. I used to come up this river over 20 years ago and did some fishing, and it seemed like you could catch a fish every other cast. And since then, it's become a very, very popular fly fishing destination. And I know this river gets a lot of pressure on a regular basis. So the fishing isn't quite as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. Campsite was really nice, mostly level. I think we only needed one Lego block to level the trailer side to side. Being able to step out your RV door to this scenery was just amazing. It was a little on the windy side when we were up here. The weather was just beautiful, warm during the days. At night we'd start a campfire and have a nice warm campfire each night. Blue skies. It's also really neat one morning waking up and seeing all the birds. They had built their mud nests on the rock across the river. And the early morning hours, they were just flying in and flying out constantly. It was really fun to just sit and watch them for a while. Since we weren't having any luck in the river, a friend and I took off up to Powderhouse Cove. This is a day use only. I think it's posted from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. or something of that nature. But there's pit toilets, there's a boat ramp, nice big parking lot. I've launched a boat from here many times and gone across the lake from the boat ramp and caught several bass and trout. It's also really nice this year. The rainfall and snowpack was higher than normal in our area, and for the first time in many years, the Prineville Reservoir got up to 100% capacity. It's really, really nice to see the lake up that high. Powderhouse Cove actually gets its name from the remnants of an old stone storage shed that was built up here when they were building the dam. The Story is that they used to store the explosives in the shed, and the shed still exists. The roof's caved in, but the walls are mostly still there, and it's just up outside the parking lot. You can walk up. There's a small fence around it, but you can walk up to it and take a look at it. Last time I was up there was no signage to tell you anything about it, but as you can see here from the boat ramp, that lake is sitting good and high. It's really nice to see it sitting at that level after so many years of it being low. And there's the remnants of the old Powderhouse storage. And we did a little fishing just off the shore. I didn't bring my boat with me this time. It was an interesting fishing day. Lost a lot of lures. The rocky bottom here caught a lot of my hooks, and I broke off a lot of tackle, but I was still able to catch a couple. Just a beautiful day with some wonderful company. Interesting thing about Highway 27, we're going over the Bowman Dam here. If you head south from the Bowman Dam area on Highway 27, you'll eventually, after a few miles, hit some gravel. Highway 27 is the only through highway in the state of Oregon that still a section of it is gravel, not paved. Kind of some interesting trivia. Yeah, if you get a chance to come up here, it's a beautiful area, some wonderful scenery. Fishing's not too bad either. Thanks for coming along.